I look at somebody like Denzel Washington, right? You got Denzel Washington, and Denzel Washington does a very good thing in society for black men. He's a role model. He represents the image of a masculine black man, father figure, someone who is assertive, right, a thinker, right? He represents an archetype. And just by that image alone, it's powerful representation that we need, right? There can be somebody else that's a multimillionaire in the culture, but they're toxic and what they do doesn't produce anything for us. But when we think about him, we say, man, that's somebody that we can hold on to be like, he's never sold out. He didn't put on a dress. He didn't turn into, a soy sassy boy for $1. And you don't know, I was talking with Nick Cannon about this, and I'm like, I don't need Denzel Washington to do nothing else because I know how hard it is to do what he's done thus far with his image. Doing Malcolm X wasn't easy. I thought he was Malcolm X at first when I was younger. And sometimes, and here's the thing, going back to that standard that you hold Biden and Trump to. Black men, when we do something, people want you to do everything. But they know you can't. But it's so that they can try to defame you, discredit you, demean you. You can be this person with this image that curates this. You can create a platform. You can tour around the world. Whatever you do, people will look at what you're not doing to try to discredit you. That's how they get us. While white men get to be mediocre and excellent and don't have to do anything else, we have to not only do what we do at our masterful, skillful level, then they look at everything you're not doing, and then that's what they're projecting. So you never get to be great. So I want you all to know, fuck them. If you're a God and that's what you do and that's what you produce that is positive for the culture, and I mean positive, impactful, good influence, good impact. And if you have the ability and the resources to do more at a high level, do it. But I want to say what you're doing, if you're making a good impact, is enough. That's what I want to say. Good influence and good impact only. That's who I'm talking to. Because sometimes we get burnt out trying to live up to the expectations that people set. And they only set those expectations because they know that you can't make up to them, so they don't have to give you credit for what you do. And you definitely do not have to fit the standards and criteria in which white men have shown to make metrics, right, to say that you're successful. You don't have to be a multimillionaire. You don't have to check any of those boxes. If we see you doing something and you're impactful in our lives, we got you. I was looking at Essence Fest and I seen Birdman and Lil Wayne headlining. And I'm like, man, New Orleans, I love New Orleans. When I went out there, we had a good time. We missed so many opportunities to do something brilliant. If I was from New Orleans and I was running Essence Fest, I would have called on my brother Wall Street Trapper. I would have asked him to go on that stage with Birdman and them, right? And I would have made a moment so that the city looks at him as a representation of a black man that comes from the bottom, that comes from nothing, that comes from darkness, that comes from prison, right? And say, this man can change his situation from selling drugs, right? From being accused of murder and a multitude of different things to coming out and showing black people transparently how to make millions out of the stock market daily. This is the example that needs to be set throughout the whole city. If I was the mayor, I would take his face and create a campaign and plaster it all around, because that would be the archetype that I want black men to imagine themselves as possible becoming. So the missed opportunities, and the way that I look at it, is that we're going to push all of this nothing politics. Black men are not celebrated for being great, for being masters, for being skillful, for being living fucking legends every single goddamn day. Yet, if we die, we get dragged in the street, you care. But if you was a gay black man, and y'all know how this goes, you'll be honored and celebrated. If he came out as gay and turned into a woman, they'd throw you on the platforms. So why do we have to fit their agenda in order to be celebrated? We don't. And you know what that makes black people feel, right? It makes us feel alone. And then when you speak out and nobody got your back, it makes you feel unsafe. And that's how they want you to do. They want to, this is the last part. See, these campaigns spend billions of dollars, both sides. Campaigning in the media. They spend so much money campaigning, so much, hundreds of millions of dollars on their campaign. But then when you go look at the amount of money that they spend with black media, it's minuscule, small. They might spend $100 million and go spend $1.5 million with black media. Yet they're spending this money to talk at you, but they're not spending no money to talk with you, because they don't really respect your voice. They don't respect your mind. They don't respect your platform. And they claim to respect your vote. And that's on both sides. And we accept that and we take that. How? Why? So they will spend money to talk to you, but not talk with you. And we wonder why black media doesn't grow positive black media. Instead, they do the opposite. They will spend money to try to discredit you, so that your influence doesn't have power over your own culture. Because if they can't use it, then you shouldn't have it. So if they can't wield your energy in the capacity in which they want to, then they deem it invalid. And we don't consider this a disrespect. I don't care what time of the day it is. I don't care what time of the year it is. So the loyalty has to be to a black man and a black culture. And that's it. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you all for tuning in. But I want us to start demanding more of ourselves. Start demanding more. And all these niggas that be claiming to be so great, they be clicking up. They be clicking up. And I watch you all. I be seeing the click up. You know what I mean? I be seeing the little things that y'all do. But here's the thing. These niggas worked with the boule. These niggas work with them so much. This is why a lot of times you might not see them on my platform. Because they think, they afraid to stand next. They're afraid to give validation to. Because they don't want you to have so much power. They're trying to limit your growth. They be like, oh, I see you, Keys. Yeah, but you don't want to come over here. Nah, they're going to white man's platform for free. They probably want me to pay. Ain't gonna happen. You niggas more voice than mine ain't that goddamn powerful. Y'all afraid of powering any black man. And then if you on platforms talking about freedom, but you ain't got no collaboration with any other black leaders, or you talking about unity, it's fake. It's fraudulent. Them niggas be revolutionary for a political promise. And I promise you, they're afraid of a younger generation replacing them. And that fear is going to stop us from ever being a greater culture. Because if the OGs ain't tapping into the YGs, then we don't create a generation of the next generals. And they be too afraid of their replacement that they don't set up for themselves to pass the torch. None of them. I could ask somebody, bro, could you mentor me through this thing? I don't know everything. I ain't gonna get no response. No, so when young black men can't depend on old black men unless these older black men look at you and feel like they can control you, they become like the Greeks. They become like the Romans in a way that they treated younger generations, which was a sick way of forcing thoughts and mentoring them. So yes, there's no successors in the culture. Look at this shit. It's bad out here. Even old white men, they not even preparing a young white dude in their 40s to be their replacement. You telling me you're going to disrespect the whole entire populace of the whole United States of America to say that you are only people that can do a good job of taking this country to a formidable place of glory? You telling me that there's no young people that you have prepared yourself or have you seen the potential in? That can't be what we're saying. We can't be. And you can't respect a man who don't prepare heirs. This is why my focus is working with people in the culture, working with people that's ready, working with people that want to build. Yes, you have to have the willingness. There has to be certain things that, a person sees in you, right? You have to have a certain mindset and coachability. But these are the most important things to address in society for me. So, again, peace to the God.